Hi YouTube, my name is Bria and welcome back to my channel. So this video, I don't even know how to categorize this video because it has so many things wrapped into one. It's like a advice video, what not to do video, a story time, all in one. And as you can tell by the title down below, this is my journey to New York. As you may or may not know, I am originally from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I currently live in New York City. So something had to happen in between then, and this is why I'm here today. When I tell you this is like, it's just so much. I've never really shared this story with a lot of people. A lot of people don't know what happened. They just think I just up and moved to New York and everything was rainbows and cupcakes, and it just really wasn't. That's just the real deal. So to keep myself on track and not to really forget anything, I made sure I wrote this down because I feel like although you guys may make different choices than I did, I feel like there's someone out there who can either relate or who needs to hear this. I know you guys are going to judge me throughout this video, like judge me hard. I judge myself to this day about this situation because there's so many things like and so many red flags I just didn't pay attention to, and I should have, and it landed me in a really bad place, but I made my way out of that place and I'm here today and I'm here to share my story with you. So let's get into it. So I want to start back when I was in school. I went to school in Pennsylvania, of course, and for as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to live in New York. Like I've always said it. I said the moment I get a chance, I'm going to live in New York. I see New York on TV. I hear about it. Everyone wants to go to New York. Everyone wants to live in New York, like the Big Apple, city of dreams, whatever. Everyone thinks New York is just like this grand place of opportunity, and I wanted to take my chance and live out my dreams, and I felt like New York was the best place to be. I'm not even gonna tell you my whole college story because it's not about that, so I'm gonna skip over to senior year, where I met my boyfriend who was born and raised in the Bronx, New York, and that was just more of a motivation. Like now I have somebody up there, now I have a reason, more of a reason to move. I was a journalism student and I was like, that's the best place to be. Like I want to write, I can get up there and start writing for a magazine, writing for a newspaper, be on the news channel. Like there's so many things I can do. So I was like looking for internships, and I hooked up with my my advisor and my professors, and I was like, you guys need to help me, please. I need to get to New York, regardless of the circumstances. Like I need to get to New York. So my advisor, who was also one of my professors, he was like, I got you. So they helped me. They gave me like ideas, but I wasn't only putting my eggs in one basket. I was also looking for internships in Pennsylvania. Granted that I didn't find anything in New York and it didn't work out the way I wanted to, but I was so determined and I just knew it was gonna happen. I prayed on it and everything. I kind of did my own research and I looked for so many different internships and jobs and like opportunities. I didn't know how I was gonna do it, I just knew I was gonna do it. So I did online interviews, on the phone interviews, FaceTime interviews, like all that, and I finally landed an internship. So I was like, this is it. I landed an internship, like nothing's stopping me now. It's my time. So now I had to find housing. I didn't know how to go about it. No one ever told me like when you're looking for housing in New York, this is what you should do, these are the websites you should go on. So I kind of was like on my own with this, and I feel like I should have reached out to more people to get help, but I was so determined to take this step and make it be something that I accomplished myself that I just went along and did all the research by myself, and I just, you know, just looked for housing. I signed up on all these websites and I was looking at places, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to come up here and get an apartment because of how expensive it was. So I was looking more for renting out a room. I didn't have enough money saved, so what I did was I started a GoFundMe, and I raised all this money from family and friends and people near and far to help me with this move. Like, so many people believed in me, and that was just, oh my God, I was so overwhelmed with like joy and like determination. I was like, people want to see me do this, so I have to do it. There was no other way. So with the money that was coming in via donations and the money I had saved, I was able to kind of make a price range for what I wanted to pay monthly for a room. And I remember signing up on this website, and it was so many different like people and like cultures and like people offering a couch in their living room, and I was like, you know me, I cannot sleep on anybody's living room. That's just not me. Sorry, not sorry. Keep that in mind that I just said that. So I get an email from a lady, and she's like, hey, I see that you were looking for a place. I've seen your profile. I feel like my place will be great for you. This is what I'm offering. And the email was very professional, and it even had like the little icon, watermark, whatever, of the website that I had made a profile on. So I'm like, this is legit. Like, oh, I didn't think it would be this easy. So I get really, really excited. And I find this place, and I speak to this woman. Well, I'm texting this woman. And that's one red flag, texting this woman. When you're moving anywhere, make sure you speak to someone on the phone. You must speak to someone on the phone, and make sure you can either go see the place or someone that you know can go see the place for you. That was my mistake. I was just so blinded by the idea of living in New York that I didn't think anything through, and I didn't pay attention to like literal blatant signs that were in front of my face. But that's on me. So it was like pay a deposit and pay like first month's rent or something. You know how that kind of goes. It's like you pay a deposit and you pay so and so rent. So I did that, and I feel like she kind of was just fondling money out of me for a while, up until the day I moved. And I thought I was talking to someone of an agency, like someone who worked for placing people and housing people like me, students looking to live in New York. So I kind of built a trust for her. It wasn't towards the end that I started getting a little iffy, but by this point it's too late. I'm moving in like a week or a few days, and so I just kept praying on it, praying on it, praying on it. I didn't feel really good about it. I had like a gut feeling that something's off. I paid the lady, and it's moving day. It's moving day, and I'm excited. I have everything packed, and mind you, it's a 6-hour drive from Pittsburgh to New York. Between 6 and 7 hours, depending on traffic, stopping, all that good stuff. My cousin and my dad drove me. They drove me up there, and it was like an amazing car ride. We had so much fun. We were just laughing the whole time. My cousin lived in New York actually, so I felt a little more comfortable. Like, he was giving me, you know, the ins and outs and telling me about his experience. And I was supposed to be living in Brooklyn, and I had never been to Brooklyn before. I've been to New York. I've been to Brooklyn, but I've never been to Brooklyn. I never explored Brooklyn the way I would have wanted to. So as we get closer, I am calling the lady that is supposed to be my landlord. So the lady I had been speaking to this time. I'm calling her and she's not answering. Texting her, she's not answering. And it was at this point I knew I messed up. I knew it. I just felt it. I was like, this is it. I got scammed. Like, Joanne who? It's crazy. But anyway, so I didn't say anything to my dad or my cousin. I just sat in the back and kind of like soaked in my own misery. I'm still trying to text her, call her, like, I'm 30 minutes away, I'm 20 minutes away. hey, I'm around the corner, nothing. So we pull up to these buildings. Ooh, child, the ghetto. When I tell you, I've never seen anything like this. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live in a house, a very quiet street. Everyone around each other knows each other. Like, I'm used to seeing kids riding their bikes and people walking their dogs, and this was everything. But now, mind you, I didn't move up here expecting to live in the suburbs or expecting to see all that stuff that I was used to. I knew it was going to be a culture shock in a sense, but I wasn't expecting this. We pull up, and my dad will tell you, he saw my face and he knew that it was nothing but pure terror written all over my face. The building, the address that she gave me, the buildings were like run down. There were drug exchanges just back and forth. It was insane. Like, it was just a crackhead there and a crackhead here, and it was just like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? I never told this story, so it's kind of like it's emotional. So I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared, and I knew that my dad and my cousin were not willing to leave me here. They were not gonna just drive off and go back to Pittsburgh knowing that I'm in this environment and I'm not safe at all. There was I didn't see anyone my age. I didn't see anyone that I could maybe talk to if I needed help. It was just a really bad area, a very bad situation. So I'm calling the lady, calling her, and no answer. So that's when I had to tell my dad and my cousin, like, she's not answering. Like, I feel like it's over. I got scammed, period. I don't know if my cousin or my dad, someone goes to like the little security office or the renter's office, and they're like, hey, we're looking for so-and-so. There's supposed to be a room. We're supposed to get the key. And they're like, they have no clue at all who we're talking about. They had never heard of the name. No one left a key. No one said this girl's gonna be arriving. Like, make sure you show her to her room. So I was supposed to have this roommate. There was like a fake roommate who had a fake occupation, a fake room, a fake building, a fake everything. It was just like everything was fake and made up, and I was just taken completely advantage of. And I felt so defeated. So defeated, and I felt so bad because the money that I had spent wasn't really my money. It was people who like believed in my journey and who had donated to me, and money that I saved. So I was defeated. So I called my boyfriend and I'm crying and I'm telling him what happened. He leaves work and he comes to me and we try to go eat, and I had zero appetite. I don't want to eat. I don't want anything. So I stayed in New York and I stayed with my boyfriend. Thank God for his family. I was able to stay. I was so determined not to go home. My mom was like, you are there for a reason, you stay. And I stayed. My dad, on the other hand, was ready to take me back home, pack up, get your stuff, we're going back home. It was just a road trip. But I wasn't feeling it. I had to stay. I was there for a reason. We came this far. Why go back now? The next day, child, the next day, I get a message from the lady like, I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to reply. My husband was in a car accident. Please leave $400 to my doorman and he'll give you the key since it's a day late. And I, like, excuse me, you really, like, you insulted my intelligence before, that's on me, but you're not about to fool me twice, child. You're not about to fool me twice. That's not gonna happen. So I'm just like, I went off. I'm like, F you, like, I hope this happens to you, like, karma will get you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just so angry. And I was really depressed for a very long time. Like, the first few weeks of being here, I was so, like, down and defeated, and how can anyone be so evil? And all I kept hearing is, welcome to New York, welcome to New York. Like, this is the thing here. I was like, I don't like this. Like, this isn't the New York I expected. whatever. So I ended up staying, and I found a job. And eventually I found an apartment. I found this apartment on Craigslist. But listen, before you like get crazy with me, although I found this apartment on Craigslist, I was able to go with my boyfriend to this place, and it seemed kind of like okay. I had to move. I had to be, because of unforeseen circumstances, I had to go and find a place, and it was the only place I can afford, and it wasn't particularly unsafe. It wasn't my ideal situation, living situation. And here I find myself in someone's living room. When I tell you I was living in a living room that was like closed off with like those Japanese like closers things, dividers, and I was living there for a few months, and it just, I don't know, like I just couldn't get with it. I wasn't happy there. I was like, this is not what I dreamed of. So it took some time, and what I did was I found a new job, and that paid me more, and I met someone there, and we moved in together. We moved to a beautiful, newly renovated apartment that was like literally 2 blocks from my old apartment. And I'm like, how did I find myself here? What was I doing wrong the first time? But I thank God for that. I thank God that I was able to get out of that situation without being hurt. And it's crazy that people are going through this on a daily basis. People are taking leaps of faith and getting completely taken advantage of. And I just want to encourage you guys that no matter what your situation is, always be prepared. Be super prepared. When people ask me like, how did you do it? You have any advice? I'm like, be prepared, be vigilant, be very, very selfish. Be very selfish, because people are out here taking advantage of people like you and me who are trying to just get their dream on, to be honest. I still hate it. I still hate that that's my story of like moving to New York. I can't say that I moved here and like everything was amazing, but I feel like it's part of my testimony now, honestly. But here I am. I am still in New York. I am in an amazing apartment. I'm safe, and I've been here for almost 3 years now, and I feel like I did it. Like, even though I was defeated in the beginning, I prevailed, and I overcame all of that depression. I was depressed. I was so sad. And when I look back, I'm like, yo, I was like a little sad puppy. Like, no one loved me, and I was away from home, and I was just so sad. But we have grown. I went to the police. They couldn't do anything about it. This person had the fake identity. I did numerous police reports in Pittsburgh and in New York, and there was nothing they can do. I just literally had to take that L. Like, the biggest L of my life, honestly, truly. But I'm here now, and that's just part of my testimony. As I said, it's something I get to share with people. I am no longer defeated. I have risen above, and we are good, and all is well with the world. So yeah, thank you guys again for coming to my channel. If you're new here and you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe below. Hit that notification bell, because you'll then be notified when I upload, so I don't have to keep telling you guys. I'm gonna keep telling you guys, but I'm pretty sure you want to be the first to know. So like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thank you again for coming to my video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.